And we are live. Look at that. It is 8:01 p.m. Eastern, 5:01 p.m. Pacific, 1:01 a.m. UK time, 2:01 a.m. in Henning Polly's bedroom. Yes, I would have been on a minute earlier, but apparently me clicking the go live button doesn't necessarily mean go live apparently anymore. So there we are. Welcome to the Sunday night hang. We're doing it community style tonight. And hanging out with me is Terry Triple G's. We've got Mr. Randy Crooks out of the greater Iowa area. Well, the greater Des Moines area. Because, you got to talk like a New Yorker when you talk about Des Moines. I don't know why.
Me neither.
Yeah. I don't make up the rules, folks. So, wow, we got a bunch of people already hanging out in the chat here. Who do we have? I'm going to scroll. All right, so I don't see it on here, but I know Bent Tom was in here at like noon today or something. I don't know what he was doing. Insomnia, I don't know. I blame medication, probably. But we've got TL Pedals Canada in the house. If you didn't see yesterday, I released a demo on their Honker Overdrive, which was pretty damn cool. We've got Amp Top demos. We got Jack Collins. Ooh, with some very sad news. Sorry to hear, Jack. We've got Absolute Mayhem, a new channel member in there. We'll probably talk about that a little bit later. We've got JP Page 2, Susie Cherry, Dennis Brio, Terry's 3Gs again in here. I don't know. He's on camera. He's in the chat. He's everywhere, folks. He's omnipresent. I don't know. We've got Charles 75N. And why do we like him? Because he's better than Charles 74N any day. Peter DeBad, awesome to see you, brother. Martin Lemaire, awesome. Jay Steen, Great Vanzini. Wow, you guys were talking up a storm in here. See, I'm not even 5 minutes till showtime. There's my cousin Doug down and back with Corn Doug. Just the best cornhole podcast on the whole Google, as far as I'm concerned. Mickey Stedelmeyer's here. BC Rich 581, another channel member. Got a channel member right there as well. Randy Crooks is a channel member. I haven't seen him in the chat here. He might be lurking. I don't know. There's Laz. Wrapped up his show. I hope it went well, buddy. Mike Rohde. Oh, we got a new member. Thomas Santiago. Dale Palmer's here. Blackjack Guitar Nut. Adam D. Brian Landreth. Planet Solansky. Awesome. Wow, we got Jack Clark's here. We got all kinds of people in here. Crenard, my knees hurt. Did I miss anybody, Terry? I don't know.
Susie Cherry, I don't think you got.
Well, lovely Susie Cherry's in here.
Hey, Susie.
And
Krillbar.
Dennis Brio, I think.
Dennis Brio from New Hampshire, I do believe.
Janice Law just showed up.
Hey, Janice. Good to see you. Yeah, so folks, my internet is still rather sketchy. So the guys here, they already know what's up. That if I lock up all of a sudden, I'm like, then they'll just carry on and let me go. So,
speaking of Bent Tom.
There he is, the wild man himself. Wild man. How's the flooring going, buddy? He's replacing the flooring in 80% of his house.
Oh my God.
And he picked a lovely time of year to do it. There's Brad Miller. Awesome. Yeah, so welcome, everybody. If I seem a little off, I've been really busy all week, for one thing. And two, I miss you guys. I haven't done this. This is like, I'm back after 2 weeks off on Sunday nights. Like, to the point where I even forgot to create this hangout until today. Because I'm like, oh, right. I have show on Sundays. Old Man Zen. Good to see you, man.
Brad Miller.
Oh, and Subfloor. Oh, dear Lord. What's the medical marijuana situation up north? Dude, you can do whatever you want. It's fully legal here. You don't need to be medical. You can just go get it. It's like same as buying liquor.
My knees hurt.
Yeah, it was quite an experience my first time going in and buying legal weed in a store.
After I did it the first time, it was funny because I wasn't even grabbing for myself. I was grabbing for Richie. Go figure. And he's like, "Yeah, man, just go over on the wrist. They don't give a hell, And this is before it was officially legal, but the res is just like, screw it, we're selling it. We got our own rules. So it's like buying like native cigarettes. Same idea in many ways. So I text him, okay, man, I'm gonna stop in there. I'm like, and I'm like in and out in 2 minutes flat. I'm just like, yeah, boom, I want this, boop, boop. And he's like, so how was it, buddy? I was like, is religious experience too strong a word?
Yeah, it was something, And then they just bring out all different samples, and you get to smell them and stuff, But yeah, it was something.
Hey, more guitars.
Dan of New Jersey, welcome.
Dan in New Jersey, awesome. I saw somebody else jump in here too. I thought. I don't know.
Chat's going so fast.
Well, that's the thing. Yeah, I'm like, where the hell am I here? And the weird part is it skips ahead, but it's like everybody's kind of talking the same amount. So I'm seeing roughly the same chat as far as names, but it's different comments. It's like, okay, it's Dan New Jersey's turn. Now Dale Palmer's going to say something, and then Ben Tom's going to say something. But wait, Blackjack Guitar Nut has something to say, and then it's going to repeat.
Hey, Blackjack Guitar Nut, TL Pedals Canada, welcome back.
There's Tim.
Dave Ennis, Rick Hafner.
Nice, David Ennis. Good to see you, man. Rick Hafner, yeah.
I should say the theme for this show, beside it being community, it seems to be rock, metal, hair theme.
Yeah, that's
my
right.
Hair, Randy's hair, and then your hair.
So, does that mean so the theme for tonight's show is, how like the amusement park they have a minimum height requirement? Is there a minimum hair length requirement?
At least to the shoulders, It's got to at least be to the shoulders.
You can't tie it into a ponytail. BC Rich asks how the parents are. Excuse me. Oh, man. For those who don't know, Mom came home on Wednesday from the hospital after getting some more tests done and got a couple of issues cleared up. And so she's back home as of Wednesday. She has good times and bad, so lots of rest. And Dad's doing okay. So kind of hurt his back a week ago, so he's been kind of resting up on that. So as such, pick up the slack and carry on. Aaron from Elvis is now banned from the live stream tonight. Unless he has a wig. Hey, okay. Landreth says he'll be in and out because he's working quite all right. And I believe Mr. Landreth is on here in a couple of weeks. And there's lovely Sandra. Thank you. Nice. So any questions, comments from the chat, yourselves, guys, whatever you want to discuss, it's pretty much open. You guys know how it goes. We talk gear, have fun. And
well, I went out last night.
What's that?
Last night up the street to the bar, and it was all an outdoor thing, and I had this table right up front by myself, but this cat had what I thought was a G&L by the headstock and the neck. Anyway, he went and got a warm his body and put this G&L headstock on. Then he put TV Jones pickups in it. It's just normal telly setup. Man, that guitar sounded great.
That's something I've been interested in for a while. I saw a couple of those around NAMM time, TV Jones based tellies, and I went, I don't have one of those.
Yeah, but this is one that he built from a kit, though.
Awesome.
But it was very nice guitar.
There's Hugh Caldwell. I saw Bobby Clipper jumping in here. VJ says, what's your favorite gear / equipment that you no longer own? For me, my 72 Les Paul.
Go ahead, Randy.
For me, it doesn't go unless I don't want it. So I pretty much keep the stuff that I'm gonna keep.
Mars Man, good to see you. Amp Top Demos, hit me up. We can set something up. I think I've got some slots still open over the next month or so. I think. I don't know. I have to look.
Hey, Amanda.
Four Guitars has a telly with a Gretsch pickup in the neck. Sounds sick. That's what I'm talking about. There's my sister Amanda. And I saw Mars Man. That's who I keep forgetting to give a shout out to.
Yeah. I was just going to say, in my case, I really do regret that I got rid of my 68 reissue Fender Stratocaster that was made in Japan from the mid-'80s. That would have been worth a lot of coin, even if it would have gotten really bad damage.
Right.
But back at the time, not knowing I was inattentive type, not having money, the bridge needed to be replaced. And back then, a Fender bridge back then probably would have been like close to like $200. So it's like...
Yeah, and now they're a fraction of that.
Yeah. Now it's like you can get one for $50.
Yeah, and that's from Fender.
Yeah.
Yeah, crazy. So, Randy, are you gassing on anything recently?
No, I'm been looking at 12 strings.
Right.
Still kind of torn between the electric and the acoustic, but guitar shop that I go to is they don't have any other than acoustics. And then Guitar Center shut down here.
Oh, wow.
Apparently somebody tested positive there and they had to close down for like 2 weeks or something.
No.
Dang, Les. No comment, just that you guys rock. Nice. Thank you very much, Les. I think my sister's going to enjoy some fresh air. How about you, Terry? You gassing for anything?
Well, it would be probably an Epiphone SG Special. That is the one with the new headstock that actually doesn't have the screws along the side. So the one up from the base one, or else one of those Squire Paradigm or Parallel baritone tellies with the P90s.
Ooh. Okay. Fair enough.
And a honorable mention, since Landon Bailey got one, the Squire Tornado as well out of the same series.
Okay. Myself, I don't know. Last week I started gassing really bad for a hardtail Strat.
I just locked down the tremolo on mine.
It's not the same.
Yeah.
I want all that extra wood that that you got to carve out for the trem system.
Yeah.
They do have. It's quite interesting. Quite a bit more sustain, a little darker sounding, I think. We do have a question from More Guitars. He's like, so Jakey Lee era Aussie versus Badlands versus, he says Black Dragon Society means Red Dragon Cartel, perhaps. Which do you listen to first?
Me personally,
it'd be the Aussie stuff.
Yeah.
For me,
probably the Red Dragon Cartel, because my friend down in Phoenix, what's his name? Greg. Anyway, he was in Badlands and the Red Cartel. Anyway, they just put out a new album called Kings of Dust.
Okay.
And, I would go that way simply because, there's some sort of connection.
Yeah. Hey, Red Dragon Cartel, I get it. Because, their singer, Darren's from just up the road from me.
Greg Chasen, that's his name.
Yes.
Yeah, so my buddy Jimmy Taft is playing in Kings of Dust with him.
Nice. There's Nikki Tedesco. Good to see you, Nikki.
Oh, hey.
Marsman, new guitar day, bought a used Dano. Damn it. Chat skipped ahead. Longhorn bass. Nice. For $200. The price is right. Yeah, for $200. How can you go wrong with for a Longhorn bass for $200? Mayhem says breaking guitar news. They are making a white Helix. Hopefully the paint also has Bluetooth and Wi-Fi. I don't know if that's breaking guitar news. That's breaking modeling news.
Well,
I got to give Mayhem a hard time. And I got to give the modeling guys a hard time. There's enough of those modeling channels out there talking about that Helix stuff or what have you. I like analog. What can I say?
You know, I'm just so new to playing guitar and gear. I like to have the pedals so there's stuff I can stomp on.
That's right.
All right, take care, TL Pedals.
Cheers, buddy. Mike Leister, hello. He's here from PEI. Any new models that were slated for Summer NAMM? The Jacks announced the Jack Butler guitar, from the Crossroads film. I haven't really heard a whole lot. I don't know. What's up with that? The Eastwood Prince clone. RJ got one of those. And it was funny because when he did the thumbnail, you could see it in the thumbnail of his Coffee Time show yesterday. I'm looking, but I couldn't make out the damn headstock logo prior to him going live. I'm looking, I'm like, I think that's an Eastwood. I hope that's in Eastwood. As someone who recently partnered up with Eastwood, I hope I get to demo one of those guitars because it sounded great. Hey, Sixstream Brian in the house. Ben, how about the apparent shortage of ash nowadays? Other than custom shop guitars, you're not going to see another ash body guitar other than custom shop. There are no more ash trees growing. They decimated North America. Decimated.
On was it on Texas Toast or Dylan Talks Tones streams from earlier this week? Actually, they had the wood supplier for Texas Toast on, and as he said that it actually has been limited amounts of swamp ash for the last 2+ years as it is.
Yeah. Like it's trickled down to the point where it's only like, are you going to spend an extra $500 on a telly just for an ash body as opposed to older?
Yeah. And
No.
he said that, he said basically the growing environment for the swamp ash is pretty much getting worse and worse.
All ash. It's the ash beetle, or I can't remember what the beetle's called, but it literally infests them over the last number of years to the point where even any ash trees that are still growing, if you cut them down, they have lots of worming.
Krellbar says an old throwback to the Tone Wars debate: swamp ass guitars.
Was there any warning? Yeah, that's the problem, though. It's just like killer bees, right? Once they're here, type of thing.
Yeah, and that's what that wood supplier said basically on the stream when he talked about it. He said, it's been in existence, the decline of it for some time, but as the wood suppliers, there wasn't a whole hell of a lot that they could do, but only react to it further going down, and then pricing and I guess supplying accordingly, which he said is now. He said it's next to impossible now to get swamp ash.
Yeah, exactly. I think you're lucky. It's even harder to get than Koa. And Koa.
Yeah, Koa is really bad.
So hard to get.
They should just go back to making them out of pine.
The only problem with pine bodies is pine is such a soft wood. If you ding it, you're denting your bodies. You're not just going to crack the paint, you're putting dents in it.
Yeah, that's why they have to do those hard sealers on the pine.
Yeah. And then it just fractures. Oh, I had a pine guitar I saw what happened when you drop the edge of the body. Pine guitar.
Same thing as basswood. Basswood is also very similar. It's relatively soft too.
Yeah.
Of course, I know that from the quite a few guitars I destroyed refinishing.
What do they make violins out of? Walnut? I have no idea, Mayhem.
Maple.
Maple. Yeah, I just meant the floating maple on the backs and sides for sure.
Just like hollow bodies.
Yeah. Not all pine. Sugar pine dried is hard as rock. Yeah. Then you're looking at an extra process, though. You'd have to, basically, like roasted pine.
I had one of those
pine, like Novo guitars or tempered pine, which is essentially roasted, kiln dried, whatever you want to call it.
And also just imagine the price premium would be on sugar pine.
Yes. And Laz, he goes, my modern player Telly is pine. It's one of my heaviest guitars. Don't ever drop that guitar, Laz. You will dent the bejesus out of it. Like, whatever, if it hits on a corner, that whole corner will be dented in. Trust me, because I had one of those for a couple of weeks. And when it was dropped, it was fucked.
We just don't drop them.
Dale just
we'll tell that to the repair guy who was refretting my guitar. Because the frets started popping out of it after 10 hours of playing.
Yeah, emerald ash boar is what Dale has said.
Thank you.
It's wiping out the rest of the
Yeah, and for those who don't know, swamp ash and ash, same thing. It's just they're ash trees that grew in swampy areas.
And it doesn't matter anyways, because now it's been proven that plywood is tone wood.
Sure.
If you go and you look at Texas Toast, the pine wood LP that they made.
Yep. Hey, Sound Propeller Patrick, and I saw somebody's in here from the left coast, they said. It's a Hip Metalworks, and I think I saw Martin C in here too. So we got a bunch more Canucks jumping in here. Certain mahogany woods, I believe, are not accessible anymore. It's more like the old growth, or I know ebony's been getting harder to get.
Yeah,
but there's been a lot of trees in certain families too. So, well, yeah, exactly. Yeah, cherry, swamp ash charvel. You better cherish that. Hey, there's Kid Shred himself, Joe Hervey 84. Thank you to your mama. Back at her.
Oh, by the way,
it's all good. Yeah, Plant Solansky. For those who are newer to the channel, I have guitars here that are quite the wide range in value, age, whatever you want. Let's say I have a wide spectrum to choose from, and let's be honest, no matter what I play, I still sound like me. Good, bad, or otherwise.
I was just going to say, hopefully your surgery went well. My knees hurt. Back surgeries are a very good thing.
Yes, I meant to say that earlier when he mentioned how he was under the influence, as they say.
Yeah.
Any pedal on the gas list? Well, now that TL Pedals is gone, I can't butter up Tim for something, so fine. I don't know. Yeah, I'm always looking for a trim. Carina is just a form of mahogany.
Yeah. In my case, I would like a Univibe.
Univibe, nice. Yeah.
Especially if I do get rid of the VIP too, I won't have Univibe or rotary, so I'll need that definitely for an effect.
You're not the only one that got rid of a VIP too.
Oh, yeah, but at least I had mine 4 years.
I had mine, what, 2? 2 plus?
I don't know.
Yeah. The one that I would be looking at would be like the dark side, that Pink Floyd in a box pedal.
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
That would be another good one too.
Yeah. Landreth ordered a Stinger Fuzz this week. Nice. You'll like it. They're cool. I will say, unfortunately, my Stinger Fuzz came off my pedal board. Sorry, Tim at TL Pedals. The Stinger Fuzz is off my pedal board. Of course, his Honker Overdrive took its place on the pedal board, so there's good news, bad news when it comes to TL Pedals. Joe Hervey. My brother just got a guitar. I got to teach a drummer the guitar. Lucky me.
No, this is not a bassist.
Oh, I'll take a bassist over a drummer any day to teach guitar to. Susie asked why. I'm not a big fuzz guy, so fuzzes can come and go. And I was thinking about revamping the pedal board because it has been, 3 months since I rebuilt the pedal board, Terry? Maybe 4. Once I finally got down, I'm already fiddling with stuff. So I'm going to revamp it. I want to expand it at just more pedals in general.
Yes, it is, Laz. I believe it is.
Yes. Yes. It is Keeley pedal. You wouldn't believe what I was playing with the other day. I will let everyone guess for a minute what pedal I was playing around with this week. I do not own the pedal. I borrowed the pedal. Hello, Marty V. I'll even give you a hint. It's a Boss pedal. Andrew, Fender Guru. Good to see you, man. Any guesses, Terry?
Boss CE. Even better. Has it already been featured on the channel?
Nope.
Oh.
Never tried one of these before. Any thoughts, Randy?
Did you get some pedals from Eastwood?
No, it's a Boss pedal. I borrowed a Boss pedal. Boss overdrive of some sort. That's pretty random amp top demos. Come on. FZ2? No. SY1? Close, but no.
Okay, better question. Who did it belong to?
It's owned by Mr. Shanahan.
Okay. That would then have to probably make it a modulation effect.
It does modulate when you want it to, but not really. Boss Trem, no. All right, see, who is by far the closest here? Was it Dennis Brio? Yes, it was. I was messing around with a Boss bass synth.
What? Oh, that's right. You do have a bass too. I forgot about that.
Oh no, I was playing my guitar through it.
Oh, really?
Oh yeah.
That would have been interesting.
I was not sober when I did it. So you hit a note, it's like, wow. I'm like, oh, this is cool. Sub octaves. It was one of the few times, because I wasn't even playing loud. But I went upstairs afterwards to use the room. And my dad's like, just wrapped up practicing, eh? Yep. Was it loud? He goes, oh, I could hear it. It's all those sub octaves throughout the whole. Wow.
So it was almost like prog rock.
Oh, and Doug's talking about the other pedal. Yeah, the one I showed him. Which I think is a feedback looper of some sort.
The Karen. What a weird name. And that's a Boss pedal?
Well, Terry, the two knobs is entitlement on the right, and on the left is the mirror, where you go from less to more. The input is called the trigger, and you have two outputs.
Oh.
It's the KA1.
Oh, wow. This is as bad as the pussy melter. Oh, that reminds me, that has been rebadged and re-released, right?
What's that one? Sorry?
The pussy melter.
Is it? Yes. That's something else.
Yeah. Ryan Bruce and I think one other person did it. I will get that info here in a second.
The butthole burner.
Yes. The
Thank you, Ben
Steel
Tom.
Panther butthole burner. I was telling my friend that's the pedal he needs to get. He was like, "Oh yeah, just what I need." He's still geeking out over the fact of his Tone King Imperial that I got to play. And it was like, the funny thing is the thing is almost as big as the Viper VIP 2. I thought it would be a lot bigger, but it's that small with a 112 in it. And the thing for supposed to be 22 watts, but the thing sounds like he cranked it up. And I had the trem going on the clean channel of it, and I was playing his I think it was his Strat, and then his Paul Reed Smith through it, and it was just like you could feel the floor just going whoop, whoop.
I didn't realize I was still soloed there. Could have said something. No, guys, Jesus.
All right, I'm waiting on mine, Amanda. It better be good.
Fine. After I went and picked up that stuff that I was telling you guys about earlier, I cooked up dinner after that, and then I was like, oh. And then as soon as I wrap up dinner, Randy's messaging me, so when do you send a link? I'm like, all right, give me 5 minutes, guys. Jesus.
Was that before my message?
Oh, yeah, like half an hour before. It was about 7 o'clock. I'm like, I'll send it in about 45 minutes, bud. Don't worry about it. And then I start straightening up in the workshop again. My amp was on. I never even did practice. I was going to practice before I send out the link as I usually do. Totally forgot. Indra's asking how Mom's doing. Mom is doing pretty good. Pretty good. She seems to be in good spirits today.
And Joe Hervey, apparently he just got rid of it.
I'm going to need to come up with a new member riff for when I'm playing, like Baker.
Yeah.
Mickey Stedelmeyer. Thanks, dude. Awesome.
Yeah, awesome.
Which I think that puts us at a 6-pack of members. That's like we can do it like an a cappella group now.
Shuffle Demons.
Okay, Doug, I
bus.
just got the text a minute ago. I was texting you that you were solo. Nice. Question for the panel. Has anyone noticed a big growth in the used guitar market lately? No. I'd say it's a seller's market. There's next to nothing on like Facebook Marketplace, Kijiji, stuff like that.
And the guitar store that I go to down here, their used guitars are getting pretty depleted.
No doubt. A lot of people, yeah. When Mayhem and I were at the pawn shop, we're like, hey, can you negotiate on price? And they're like, we really don't need to. I was like, you don't have much of a selection here. And I'm like, and I looked in the back, because they always got to hold stuff before putting it out on the floor. And the whole hold area that normally has 8 to 10 guitars had 2. So I was like, damn. Wow, we're getting a little backed up here. Fender Guru, thank you very much, sir. I do appreciate it. We've got another wild man in here, a new member, and Bent Tom. Thank you very much, buddy. And another wild man, I know, because he's been wild with me in person, Laz himself. Yeah, and no, Laz, we should warn Laz now. Just because you're a member, Laz, doesn't mean you have to announce to me every time you're about to take a shower. He really loves that. Hey, Ben, just let you know, I'm about to head into the shower. I'm like, yeah, thanks for that, Laz. Appreciate it.
In regards to what was asked about the used guitar market, yeah, my friend was just saying the same thing. Even though he's sitting on a 09 Fender Strat custom shop, he still isn't getting very many nibbles on it. And he's actually even reduced it to like 2,300. But yeah, the used market, like in our area, is definitely dried up in regards to guitar stuff. A lot of the cheaper stuff is getting thrown out there, like the $200 to $500 range. There is the occasional $3,000, $2,000 instrument. Like my friend's brother-in-law, he actually put his he has an Uptown 335. He's put up for 2,000 cash with a natural top.
It was funny. I was over at Richie's place about a week ago, and it was funny because I was like, "Hey, man, anything you want me to bring over?" And he's like, "Yeah, bring over this, bring over this, bring over this." And I was like, "Huh, it's kind of rather interesting choice. It's all stuff I got up for sale on Kijiji right now." And so I mentioned to him, and he goes, "Yeah," he's like, because he pops on Kijiji a few times a week, and he's like, "Yeah, I do a search approximately, I think he does a 80 to 100 kilometer radius. So he hits Peterborough to Kingston to the east end of Toronto kind of thing."
Yep.
25% of the pedals for sale right now are mine. Which, it sounds like a huge market, but I think I had 7 ads up at the time.
Ben, you've cornered the market on pedal sales.
There was only about 30 pedals for sale total. We're hitting a population of 500,000 people.
Jeez.
Hey, Paul Glover.
So how many of those have you gotten rid of so far?
And that was the thing that I knew was a seller's market because I moved 5 pieces of gear in a week.
That's pretty quick.
Yeah, so I think I got rid of 4 pedals. I had some stuff come back the other way, and I got rid of the amp, which was I came home one day, and a friend of my dad's and myself as well, a local guy, he's a car guy and stuff, into music as well. He was here when I got back, so we're out on the back deck shooting the breeze, and he goes, "Oh, by the way," he goes, "this guy, he's in the Facebook group that I help run." I said, yeah. I said, "Yeah, good guy. Plays a local band." So he goes, "Yeah, he stopped playing a couple of years ago, but he was given a guitar, but he has nothing to play it through, so he wants to get back into playing." I said, "Oh, yeah." And I said, "So what's up? Like, why did he sell all his gear?" And he goes, "Hey, times are tough. He got rid of everything. He's got 6 daughters." And I thought, that poor bastard's got 6 daughters. He's been in quarantine for 4 months. So I sold him the Viper for $80.
That's fair. I mean,
half price. They're going for 200 right now, Terry.
Yeah, that's true. I've actually got mine listed for $340 with the same pair of 2 pedal, which is the hard pedal to get with it, or 4 to use on any of them.
Paul Glover. There's I saw, was it Susie asked what my favorite amp brand is? I probably have to go with Fenders or Marshall. Depends. Like, if I need a clean, Fender. If I need a dirty, okay, actually, you know what? Technically, even though I don't own one, Friedman. You just play through a Friedman and you just play. Dang, Jay Steen. Another member. Geez, we're getting away from a little street corner gang here to biker gang here. Numbers are growing.
Nothing wrong with
starting a new chapter.
And what about Randy? You have a favorite amp brand?
Right now it's probably my Orange.
Okay.
It's a 35 RT.
Nice. They are supposedly really nice.
Yeah, and then I've got a Marshall code, and I've got a bass breaker I need to get new tubes put in. And then I like a little Fender Champ 20.
Yeah.
Nice. Hey, Stu Rep 5150.
And then a pig nose that I need to get fixed too.
Nice.
Oh, nice. A pig nose.
I just realized too, like when I answered the amp question, I kind of skipped around a bit. I was like, but you know what? The more of this I drink, the more honest an opinion you're going to get out of me. It's like, what do you think? Ah, piece of crap.
You know, that's honestly the biggest problem is there's so many amp producers out there. And I think that's probably why some people actually do go towards the modeling side of things, because of the simple fact in the modelers you can get that variety or range versus trying to buy one of each of those, like buy an orange, buy a
But
Marshall,
they don't
blah, blah,
quite
blah.
sound the same. They don't
No.
sound the same.
No, not really.
To these half-deaf ears with the constant ringing in them from the tinnitus, they don't sound the same. See, that's the ultimate irony, right? You get that argument, oh, they sound different, blah, 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 blah. Meanwhile, I'm half-deaf making that comment, but I like what I like. I saw, I think it was VJ said smaller amps is where it's at. Lately, I've been running stereo, so 40 watts there and 60 watts there.
Yeah. Yeah, that B52 brand is apparently a real sleeper brand from what I was actually reading.
You can't find them anymore.
Guitar Center or Sweetwater, I think, sells them still.
Yeah, but like that's like I don't think they actually have much of a presence beyond that. You know, it's like
No.
you know, because that's like essentially it's a catalog item, right? Oh, I know about B52s. I can go Sweetwater that carries everything. They have them, but you got to search it out. You don't get demos per se, and which I get because I still get comments on the demo I did on mine, and they're like, "Dude, you're one of the few guys that have demos out on these." I'm like, "Yep, that's one of the reasons I did one."
Brian Landreth, if he wasn't said hello to earlier, and Tone Boner.
Tone Boner. Really? Don't tell me that, Tone Boner. Don't tell me that. See, you know the problem is, Terry? He's local.
Really?
Your guru can tell me, oh, I'm selling this. I'm like, oh, great, because I'm not going to buy it. It's going to cost an arm and a leg to ship it from New Zealand. When a local guy's in the chat, is like, oh, I'm selling this. Yeah, don't even tell me that.
Yeah. Robot
No self-control.
Master Switch.
Very little. Robot Master Switch, decent break. Yeah, it's weird. That amp, from what I've discerned with the help of several people, is it's more or less a PV triple X. That particular one, the AT112. It's like a triple X, but down to a 60 watt 112 combo.
Wow, that wouldn't be too bad.
Yeah. And the triple X was a unique amp. Isn't B52 a Guitar Center brand? I don't think so.
Yeah, I'm not sure.
Guitar Center was Mitchell, I thought.
Yeah. Yeah, but a lot of these companies and like Guitar Center, they'll go and they'll buy up brands or brand names to that extent. So like that's what I thought when I heard B52 was that it was a store brand. Kind of like Harley Benton is for Toman.
Just in case, you know, Tone Boner misses that comment in the chats, because the chat's moving pretty good. There you go, Tone Boner. Just he said come on over and try it. So yeah, I may have to pop on over and at least do a demo on it.
Welcome back, Amanda. Where's my dessert?
Became the JS amp? Possibly.
Triple X became the
TJ and the Beard?
No, I'm pretty sure the Joe Satriani amp was actually Joe Satriani's own design.
Good to know. Crowbar saying the Triple X came in a 60 watt combo as well. Well, there we are then. Interesting.
Yeah. Hey, PJ and the Beard.
They've been putting out some good demos lately.
Yeah. These guys have been putting out a crap ton of awesome video demos. They do very excellent work on their videos. And their banner back and forth as well, too, is awesome.
Okay, the Triple X became the JSX. Joe liked the Triple X and tweaked it.
Yes. Okay, well, there you go. Thanks, Krell.
And a few people are saying it's possibly they were owned by Guitar Center. Who knows? I don't know. I can look it up, I suppose, but I don't really feel like it. They are not light. Hey, Crowbar or Lena said, did it come with a fork? There's casters on that thing, thankfully, because that is a heavy flipping amp.
Somebody on the local Kijiji actually has a Marshall DSL 40 with an upgraded V30 speaker, and they put casters on it. And I was thinking to myself, is a Marshall DSL 40 combo that heavy that it has to be on casters?
It doesn't have to, but it's handy.
But it's
I'm just
funny.
saying, you know.
The ad says, have to get rid of, too loud for my roommates. I'm like, wow.
Nice. Any real reason to pick up a 4x12 cab these days besides for bedroom rig? Ironic factor if people ever gig in aren't 212s enough. Exactly. About Mass Switch, 112 combos have always been enough for me. I barely put my Blues Deluxe on. It's like nothing, boom. And that's stage volume.
Ryan Bruce himself even said, as much as everybody expects the best sound out of 4x12, even through emulation, even he said he'll only do 212s. He said there's no point in doing a 412.
And like there is a sound to it, which is great, but unless I'm having someone move my cab, I won't gig with one.
Yeah, that's the biggest.
And if I was gigging with one, you'd be damn sure the set wouldn't be looking like this, because I wouldn't be lugging that in and out of here all the time. It would be in the garage, by the door, as close to being loaded as possible at any given time, essentially.
Well, and with the PAs, you don't really need anything more than just like a 112, really.
Even without the PAs, because hell, I ran a 112, and the only thing we put through PAs is vocals. Everything else was stage volume. There was no need, because you had to turn up as loud as the drummer, anyways. And then beyond that, we're having feedback issues with vocals, anyways, because we're already pushing 113 decibels.
VJ Kumar Solansky, Harley Benton 2x12. Yes, I have one, and yes, even despite with my back issues, this thing is super light to handle. Like, I'd swear the thing only feels like maybe 20 pounds. So whether that's because of the speakers inside it or whatnot, but I could easily move that.
Ma'am, I take it you liked my stereo setup. He's after hearing your stereo setup. I'd rather have two 212s. Do that. 2 412s would be nice. But I don't want to move it. I need a roadster.
Actually, I think that's what Ryan's setup was for the few bands he's played in over the years, was actually two 212s.
Yeah, I believe so too. Yeah, and if I play through a 212, I'd like it to be a 212 cab that I can stack vertical. Otherwise, I always have to have my amp tilted back. Pete Thorne was talking about that today. He used to use for an amp tilt back. Hockey puck wedged under the front of the amp. It's the perfect height.
That's not Canadian at all, is it?
Okay. When he toured with Melissa Etheridge, he ran a stereo rig. So 2 cabs, he used a hockey stick. 1 hockey stick to tilt them both back. With the hockey stick with the blade up on end at the end.
Wow. That's awesome.
I know.
In regards to what you said, Music Therapy Laz, in regards to the 2x12, that is the lower end one that doesn't have the Celestians in it, which is 195. I think 100. It's either 160 or 195 Canadian. So I think it's about 150 US. And if you want the one with the Celestians in it, I think you're paying another 50 on top of that. And I also think it has a removable grill on the Celestian loaded one. And then, of course, you're in the US. So that is, I think the shipping to US now is about 60 US. So about 253 US
Nice.
from Tony.
Rick Hefner runs dual 412s. Somebody mentioned an oversized 212 cab. Yeah, Rich has a Marshall 212 cab, and those are very oversized compared to, say, a Fender 212 cab. Way bigger. I don't take them out, so I don't have to move them often. I wouldn't want to, Rick. Jesus. 2 412s? Forget it. I need a Rebaxa set just thinking about it.
Well, you can always just get those empty cabs just to make people think you have a 412 or 4x12.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was just thinking, I was waiting for Mark Taft to show up in the chat to thank you for that idea, Randy. He'd be like, yeah, I'm down with the empty cabs. Yeah.
Well, that's what they do for like AC/DC and all that. Those aren't all Marshalls back there.
Well, there's no point. You're just paying for weight. You're not using them, so why bother, right?
People still want to see it, though.
Yep. Tell you, the band doesn't want to play in front of them. They'll think running across stage. Oh, that's the live cab. Yep, that was the live one. Yep. Jack Collins says, I've been a roadie. That's hard work. It is. Dave Douglas, hello. Oh, we got 70 people in here tonight. Jeez Louise.
Wow, awesome.
And we're up to 9 channel members. Crazy. Which I was going to talk about. Got a few comments from some fellow YouTubers. Like, I was talking to Terry today because he knows a lot of the fellow YouTubers. A lot of them going, WTF, because anyone that has a YouTube channel, if you look at the channel requirements for channel membership to enable that feature, you're supposed to have 30,000 subscribers. I don't know if anyone's noticed that little stat down there, but I'm not quite there yet. But YouTube offered me the chance as a smaller channel to give it a shot. So I thought, why not? It will not affect my Patreon members in any way. Some people were asking as far as like the members only videos that were coming out. And I think the easiest way to do that is if I have a members only video, it will be released on Patreon for a week. So you got a week to watch it. If you haven't watched it in the week, it'll be switched over to a members only video at that point. I will still keep doing the Patreon thing because honestly, they don't take as much of a cut as YouTube does. But I know like people like putting in the cool, like there's some custom emojis in there. Although I haven't seen anybody do the custom emojis yet, but they are in there if you want. And I think as I get more members, I can add more emojis too. So I'm planning on doing that too. And I know people like that stuff. So why not do it? And I think the price is all Canadian pricing too. Who was the first member to join? This crazy bastard right here.
Nice.
Hey, how did you know?
Because you texted me.
No. See, he's called me a bastard. So how did you know?
Yeah. So this guy, he's like, so is this in place of Patreon or as well as? I'm like, it's an as well as, but I totally get it if you want to move your Patreon over to this. He's like, oh, no, you're cool. I'll do both. I'm like, you're
I
wild,
just
man.
wanted to know what to look for on my bank statement.
Yeah, exactly.
So it's funny you mentioned that there's some other people with higher sub counts that are a little bit frustrated with the fact that you got it, but that's something Google/YouTube did state that they were actually going to open up the opportunity for lower tier leveled YouTubers to get the membership status. And quite honestly,
like Johnny Beans had it since March, I think.
Yeah. And quite honestly, how bad the platform has been getting in the way of losing monies and such, I think it actually is better that they do open it up to people that get at least, like
dang, Marsman. Thank you very much, sir. I just wanted to see how those emojis look. I was just flipping through the chat there. Mayhem posted, there's a guitar. Go figure. I think it's a telly body. Go figure. A toque. And there's some other stuff.
Oh, nice.
Hey, there's Rob from Tesi Switch. There we go, Marsman. Thank you very much.
And
there's it's the all Canadian horns that I can't show on here, but if anyone saw my Happy Canada Day post on social media, which was a devil's horns with the Canadian flag in it, I believe that's one of the emojis.
Brian Landreth.
Oh, wow. Brian Landreth.
I was just going to say here, Blackjack Guitar Nut said he actually bought the 212 Celestian version of this cab. How'd that turn out for you? And quickly going back to what Jay Steen asked, unfortunately, I ended up finding out that basically the power tube in this Bugatti G5 and the G20 is basically of the EL84 range, so I've left the stock power tube in place.
Do you need one?
No, I don't need one. I think I'm pretty much done with that. The only thing I've done,
those I have.
Yeah, the only thing I've done is the Tungsol 12AX7 in the preamp, which again cleans up the clean end, the clean part of the amp.
We got Mr. LPD is here as well. He's apologizing for being late. My God, that guy is so polite. You'd think he was Canadian.
It's okay.
Brian later says, I've been here since around 300 subs. Why not? Yeah, like you guys have been around basically since day one. Jeez. Like Fender Guru, same deal.
Actually, it's funny.
Oh, there's something else. I got to give Fender Guru a shout out. Unfortunately, I can't post a link to his channel. But Fender Guru has been doing live shows damn near as long as I have. And it's a crying shame that he isn't at the same size as I am as well. He does British blues rock shows. Him and a good friend of the channel, Simon from the UK. And it's great stuff. I mean, great Vanzini's been on there. Great stuff. Guys, give him a sub, please.
I have got the channel and I will post it here in 1 second.
Thank you very much, Terry. Simon Williams. Jesus, I couldn't remember Simon's last name. I'm like, geez, he was one of my first subs too. Krillberry comes here for the free drinks. There we go. Lawrence recommends JJ tubes. I just purchased some JJ tubes, unfortunately. When servicing the B52, turns out I had burnt out a preamp tube as well as the power amp tubes. Yeah.
The funny thing is, I actually think that's what the power tube is in that is a JJ.
Dang. Here's the sexy beast himself. Ladies and gentlemen, Boner Jams here, wishing you all the best on this Sunday. Ben, did you drop tune a guitar for my listening pleasures? Not yet, but I will for tomorrow. I have to restring the Mockingbird. I happen to have a set of 11s. We'll tune it down at least one full step. Then I can drop it into drop C at the very least, if not drop B. We'll see how it goes.
Hey, Ben, is that Mockingbird that you have, is that basswood?
I have no idea. It's cheap.
It's the
I know
cheap
the
one.
one I had, it just neck dove like crazy.
Oh, it neck dives, yeah. Yeah, I use a wide leather strap for it, and because the leather strap, the way the underside is, it just grabs your shirt or whatever. So it doesn't neck dive as much, but the problem is while you're playing, your sleeve of your shirt is slowly rotating. And playing shirtless is real fun because all of a sudden you're like, why am I hunching over? Because it's like grabbing your skin a bit. It works. All right,
that was my last foray into unusual body shapes on guitars, actually.
Everyone's talking about various tubes and such. Nice. Holy neck diver. And maybe that's the first holy neck diver.
You've been down too long in the midnight sea. That's actually probably it with the way my voice is singing wise. I probably could do some of that Ronnie James Dio vocal stuff.
God knows I could barely do it at one time, and that time is not now. My voice is so out of shape. 412s makes perfect sofa tables. Hell yeah, lad. 412 makes an excellent end table next to a sofa. It's roughly there, arm height. It's great ways to hide gear in your home.
Beer holder.
Stu Rat 5150 says, nerd fact, I have a Holy Diver tattoo.
Nice.
Nice. I see we're talking hair care in the chat as well.
Yeah, actually, people should be taking Ben's expertise since he is the person with the longest hair of us.
Don't blow dry it.
Yep.
And like you had said in the chat, just towel dry and just let it hang dry. That's like my hair's perfectly straight, but when I do that, that's how I get the curls in it. So not just hair care tips, people. I'll tell you how to get those luscious curls.
Well, it's a lack of hair care tips because just washing it and then you're done with it. That's all I do.
Actually,
let's
What
see
you getting
here.
there, Barry?
Mayhem has some info on his guitar here. Did some read on my Dean. It says a tunematic bridge, which it does. Also, the V is missing the Dave Mustaine silhouette on the back of the headstock. Yeah, I don't recall seeing said silhouette on the back of said headstock. I couldn't find, he's like, could it be a Chinese knockoff? Well, that would explain the bridge material. That's for sure.
I was just going to say, you're mentioning about the bridge, and it's like, and even still, if it's the low-end Dean, it shouldn't have a defect like that because even their low-end stuff is like decent quality.
Wow. All right, so this is what we're talking about, fellas and ladies.
Oh, that is nice.
Yeah, it's got a bit of a volute on the back of the neck, which I don't care for. But let's see. I don't know if it'll show up on camera. The problem is with the bridge. Before we put the V, we'll move the wine. There we go.
Yeah, don't knock it.
All right.
Yeah, actually, you can just kind of see it just bowing just a little bit.
Christ, this is so hard backwards.
Yeah.
See that?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
The bridge actually has a nice bow in it.
Oh, and that's
Had a volute in your pocket. Are you happy to see me?
That's definitely going to be harder to replace too because it's black.
What?
There's always a premium.
Plug your ears, Mayhem. I'm just gonna get a chrome one and Sharpie it. Don't palm mute it. It's a very thin finish. So no, I can get a black one for it. Black one easy enough. In worst case, I could spray it. So yeah. This is ready to go on the bench. It was going to go on the bench today, but as I was telling Terry, I had to clean off my entire workbench to make enough room to put this wide-ass behemoth on said workbench.
Yeah, Mayhem. Get smaller guitars next time.
Gotta own a V. Gotta own a V. Yeah, sure. Guess what he doesn't own? A case for it. Guess what he'll never own for it? A case for it.
Oh, that now actually makes me think. By the way, you're still in upfront mode.
Oh yeah, of course I am. There we go.
I was just gonna say I did think of another guitar I would possibly contemplate as an interest. The new Epiphone V.
I was debating one. That's Gibson inspired too, right?
Yes. They're almost practically identical to a Gibson, other than just
Pretty
Epiphone
much.
on the headstock.
No, I've got the Les Paul, the 50s. Yeah, I love it.
The is that the reissue of the 55 with the P90s?
No, it's just a standard.
Joe
Okay,
Hervey's
yeah.
asking.
Nice.
Here, let me. I'll present you here, Randy. Boom. Show that bad boy off. Joe Hervey's asking if I'm going to put a roller bridge on the V. I don't know. Depends if Mayhem wants me to put a roller bridge on the V.
And of course the headstock. Where'd it go?
Yeah. Nice.
The Kalamazoo style headstock.
Yeah, it should be.
There's Eddie Haskell.
And it's got a maple cap with the veneer over it.
Yeah.
But it's got a maple cap on it.
Yeah.
It's probably why it weighs 9.5 pounds.
Well, that's what they'll do with they'll do a nice thick maple cap. It'll be like a single A quality maple, and then you put the thin veneer of the nice flame maple over that, because flames don't improve tone, right? So maple does, but flame don't. So you just put the plain maple on. Mayhem says, I do a black roller bridge. Ben, you know my budget. Yeah, I do. So there we are. I guess I'll have to start sussing that out tomorrow. A black roller bridge. I'm still going to try to save this bridge temporarily. Ironically enough, I have more experience in metal fab than wood fab, so.
Hey, it's my fellow Hockey Buzz fan, Eddie Van Haskell.
Gotta love Eddie. Another guy that's been around since day one, pretty much.
Hey, Dwight Bailey.
Never understood why some people dislike the volute. I don't know. I figured, you know what? It's a hill I could fight from, and yeah, why not? I don't know. I just don't like them. I think it's just looking at it.
I was gonna say maybe the placement, because
it doesn't really affect my playing at all ever. But I just don't like. It's like a big eyesore sticking out.
An elephant hump or a camel hump.
Yeah, it's like the snake that just ate the squirrel. It's kind of obvious. Electro Omega, I forgot to say hey earlier. Hockey soon, maybe. Yes, that's what I've heard. The national news. They got 2 cities.
I can give information on that. Officially, August 1st, there will be NHL hockey games, 6 per day, over a span of 2 hours, and 2 hours, and 2 hours, and 2 hours. 6 during the initial opening qualification round, and then I believe it's going to be 3 games a day after that when it goes to the regular playoffs.
VJ's got to head out. See you, VJ.
Are they playing without crowds?
Probably. Yeah.
Yeah, I think they're doing. I don't think they're doing crowds. It's supposed to be showed on quite a few major channels, and so far as it's confirmed, it is going to be all Eastern Conference games are going to be played in the Toronto area. All Western Conference games are going to be played in the Edmonton area.
I think it's conspiracy. Pete Thorne and Phil X's hometowns is where all the NHL games are. Just saying. Eddie, yes, I did. Eddie left the most disturbing comment on a pedal demo video I did recently. It was very disturbing, but hilarious at the same time.
Oh, that reminds me. When I was at the convenience store, amazingly enough, they actually had hand sanitizer. So I actually picked up a
Nice.
bottle. $10 for half a liter, eh? Hey, Fruitcake Tony.
Nice. I don't more guitars because it's more than just one country involved. It's a global thing. I don't want to say the words necessarily because you get demonetized unless you're a major channel if you say certain words related to the lockdown.
Yeah, or the actual thing that is causing the lockdown. Also, you'll get
Can't say the
demonetized.
C words or the V word, or they don't like that stuff. So
You can say the other C word.
see you next Tuesday.
The other C word that's a naughty word, but
See
you
you
can't
next
say
Tuesday?
the other word.
Because there are several women in the chat, I will only say, see you next Tuesday.
Oh, Mayhem was
not-
asking about
not
a guitar.
that. I'm talking about the one in relation to.
Brian, yeah, you can use that one.
Oh, very nice.
I think I demoed one of those
pickups
not
in
too long
it,
ago.
but it's a Squire classic vibe.
Yeah, I
bought
demoed one of
this-
those about 6 months ago, I think.
So
I-
that's
I-
one of the.
Yeah, I
That's one
bought
of
this
the
when
new-
I was supposed to come up and see you, Ben.
Right.
So is that one of the new ones then, Randy, or is that one of the older ones?
It's a 2016.
So it is
Yeah.
one of the older ones. That
Yeah, I looked
actually
at-
should be a nicer.
Yeah, I looked it up and it said it was a Fender Special run.
Yep. Yeah, the
BC
because-
Rich, you can kind of on the beer name. I don't even go for the beer name right now.
Yeah, the reason why I mention that is because the new classic vibe versions of those Tele thin lines, they actually put a small veneer on the top and the back. So they have like a different center, this different center core on them, but then they got a pine or some other type of wood. It's kind of been the only kind of odd thing about the newer classic vibe models of the Squire line is that some of the woods that they've chosen or some of the ways they've chosen to use woods have been very odd.
Well, it kind of harkens back to the early days of Fender, Terry. What you can buy at a good price that there's a lot of.
Well, the other reason why I say that too is because what Randy has is a swamp ash body. That's the other reason why I mention it. That's supposed to be a swamp ash body on that. And of course, if swamp ash is now hard to come by, then that would also make that Tele thin line that much more valuable.
And agreed, Mr. Landreth. The only race we're considering on is the Possum Queen race. I love it. Nice. Nice. How are we doing on time? Wow, we've done an hour and 15 already. Nice.
Yep.
Epiphone signature guitars are excellent, Dennis Brio says. Epiphones they're a fine guitar. Bang for the buck. Nothing wrong with them. I gigged with Epiphones for years. Never let me down. Never had a problem other than my own stupidity. I've even thrown one and the headstock is still attached to it. And I believe it did touch headstock first when it landed. So
yeah, when you're talking the high end Epiphones, yeah, I mean, there's nothing wrong with those guitars at all. It's
I'm
pretty
talking-
like a Gibson.
well, I got my Korean Epiphone. I think all my Epiphones were Korean made, mind you. I don't think I owned a Chinese
Yeah.
one. All mine were Korean, just because, time factor. I got the first one in 2010. It was 2010, 2011, 2012, maybe 2013. All those years I was buying them because I was the guy that showed up with the rack of Les Pauls to play one set. I think I bring 3 to a show.
So you were that guy, huh?
I was that guy, yeah, 3 Les Pauls.
Michael Cross has asked Randy, how do you like the pickups on that Tele Thin line?
Oh, the one that I have, as I said, I believe that they're Fender pickups because the pickup cover says Fender on it. Not
They're actually Squire made, but
Yeah.
they're built to the same spec. Same as Epiphone and Gibson pickups are the same, just built in two different factories. Same deal with the Squire and Fender stuff. They basically taken the Squire guys and said, "Hey, you just build them to our spec. Here's the stuff. We're just not paying you $20 an hour to build them."
and then you can put the Fender pickup covers on them.
Yeah.
In the Jazz Blaster I put together, it had those same pickups in it. And yeah, there's nothing wrong with them.
Oh, I really like them.
Same. Yeah, they're nice compared to the MIM versions. That's where there was a big advantage of that, but Fender took care of all that, and they've now kind of mucked up the wide range pickups in that regard. And again, as Richie and various other people have said, though, the true wide ranges are the ones that you're paying the $200 to $300 for.
Yeah.
Yeah,
and actually, I don't like them as much. They're a little dark sounding, and that's the thing with the Squire ones. They realize everyone's like, "Ooh, they sound too dark," and they're like, "We'll wind these just a hair brighter, so you don't get that. Ooh, these sound dark because people will buy them. They're thinking they're going to get humbuckers. Well, they're not. They're a wide range. It's different. They are a different pickup."
Yeah, and I've got those in the my '70s classic vibe.
Nice.
Tele Deluxe also.
Nice.
What else I say? RG Pop, hello. Yeah, don't do that with the Gibson, no kidding. And welcome, Theodore. New name in the chat. We still got 57 people watching.
Take it easy, Blackjack.
See Blackjack, Guitar Nut. Have a good one, man.
Yeah. Oh, here's another one.
Which I need a guitar to noodle on. This is what happens when I don't play for half an hour before going live. Ooh, yeah. Hang on. Oh, yeah.
Oh, nice. A double cut.
Yeah, it's a hammer.
Oh, nice. A hammer.
Then it's got the abalone inlay all around the guitar, up and down the neck, around the headstock. My buddy put the rose on there.
My knees hurt. If you have to go and rest, go and rest. You can watch this on replay.
Yeah, heal up, buddy.
Heal up.
Or as best you can, because I know you deal with pain every day. So heal up best you can, my friend.
Yeah, so somebody asked what year the hammer was, Randy.
The best I can tell, it's like a 2003, I think.
Nice. I didn't realize they had made any in 2003. For a while, they were.
Well, it's Indonesian made.
Yeah.
Yeah, I forgot. Rob from Tesi likes to watch these on replay at half speed because I sound even drunker.
Do you Tesi switch them as well at the same time?
Mayhem is asking, how many guitars you got, Randy?
10.
There you go. See, I think Mayhem just asked that question so he feels better about himself.
Well, and I promised my wife I wouldn't go more than 10. So I'm probably going to be trading out my Fender acoustic, which is all mahogany, the acoustic electric.
Just find you're not playing it as much.
Yeah, I mean, I've got the Washburn signature, Betancourt with the
Similar to this one.
Yeah, but this was all mahogany.
Yep. Yeah, they're sharp looking.
But
it's acoustic time all of a sudden.
Yeah,
but I can double hand.
I figure
Metalhead hippie.
it'll keep less money going out of my pocket when I trade it in on a 12 string.
Yeah. I'm at currently 8, and the Harley Benton acoustic is up for sale. So it'll be down.
I haven't seen any demos on that Harley Benton acoustic. How is that?
For the price point, it's good. If you're someone who had smaller hands, I think it would be ideal. With a good set of strings on it, like I have now, it's really good for mid and treble. The bass is lacking though. It'll box out on anything really bassy. Like if you go to really hard strum, like a G chord, it'll go like dong, and you can hear it like badly vibrating. But anything else, finger picking, anything else in the mid range, like considering it's $140 guitar, it's not bad and a mini jumbo, but definitely in comparison to that Fender acoustic like you got, it's night and day difference between the two.
Yeah.
So I mean, I counted 17 guitars here plus a bass. 16, a bass and a cigar box guitar. I think that are playable anyways.
Oh, so, and I got to throw my wife's keyboards too, but.
I've got 2 organs and a keyboard, and I don't know how to play any of them. So there is that. Somebody was asking what kind of guitar this is. This is a 1997, 1998. Started out life as a 57 Tribute, gold top, made in Korea. It is old enough that they're still putting Gibson on the truss rod cover. It has been relict and aged. The headstock has met a ceiling fan about 15 times because every time I did rehearsal break at Richie's place, I take this guitar off and right into the ceiling fan. So this stayed at his place for months as the practice guitar for that exact reason. Sanded the neck down extensively, and like say, it did start out as a gold top, then it was white primer, and now it's Atomic Orange Fire, I think is the paint name. I think it's a Cadillac color. I don't know. Oh, and it's got a junior style tuners now. There we go. Stock pickups. Well, it's got Graphtec saddles. Well, it's got 5 Graphtec saddles, and then Rich lost a saddle, so it's got 5 Graphtec saddles and a stock saddle.
It's so funny.
And you can't buy singles. No. Rich broke a string on stage, and he was giving her so hard he just kept playing until the end of the song. And by the time he was done, that saddle was gone. We could not find it at the end of the night. And then he sold this to me for a deal. Oh yeah, they replaced the knobs too. It had the stock top hat style knobs. Hello, John Biel. Hello, Michael Cross.
Nice.
Yeah. I don't like gold tops. That's why it's not a gold top. I'm not a fan of gold top Les Pauls at all. So it's why it's gone through many relics and refins. Those that have been around the channel a long time, you may recall before I refinished this, it was pretty relic looking before but it was down to bare wood up here. The binding's worn down. It's got a lot of nicks, and I just love the sound of it though. And somebody turned the bridge pickup around, so it's got that kind of Peter Green thing. Both pickups face the same way. But it's weird. I played it, and I was like, God damn, I hate gold tops, but it played so well, that I ended up buying it off Richie. I forget what I paid for it. He gave me a deal, I think. It's not light. I don't know what it weighs, but it's not light. That's for sure. I should weigh it sometime. It's got to be 10 pounds.
Yeah. So technically, in my case, it's 8 instruments total, 2 acoustics, 1 bass, and the rest are electrics.
Nice. I still got the double neck to restore at some point. Dang, metalhead hippie. Don't spend it all in one place. Well, come
That's
on, you know I'm
alright.
going to spend it all in one place. It's going for booze.
I was going to say that would only buy 5 pieces of candy in this day and age.
I could buy 2 tall boys with that. Thank you very much.
True. That's true. but 2 tall boys of what, though? Something that's
blue.
actually good?
Yeah, 2 tall boys of blue.
Yeah, I guess if you're a blue person. Not a 2.
You know, the worst part is, the last time I stopped for beer was last week. I had to drop off some stuff at the hospital for my ma. And on the way back, I stopped at the beer store. And I had to stop somewhere else as well. And it was so hot that one of the cans of beer decided to spring a leak.
No way.
Just, yeah, like right where the rivet goes to hold the tab down in the center of the can. It was just started bubbling around there. But the can didn't feel soft. So I'm like, apparently the universe says, Ben, you need a beer. It's a hot day. So I cracked the beer. It wasn't even flat yet. So I was like, damn, okay. So it must have just started happening on the drive home.
That is strange.
So I went outside in there, that 90 plus degrees with the high humidity. And I sat out on the back deck in the sun and sucked back a cold beer in about 8 minutes.
So speaking of beer, when I go out to the bars and I generally drink draft beer, and I pick the beer by the handle, the tap handle.
Sure.
I never know what I'm going to get.
That can be a mistake up here in Canada. I'm sure Ben can verify that. All the unfortunate things when you get draft.
God, it could be anywhere from Bud Light to Guinness.
And it can also 9 out of 10 times end you in the bathroom.
Because it could be Bud Light to Guinness.
Yeah.
I love it though. It's like you go to the best draft beer is at the worst bars. Like I go in, like I love playing this dive bar in town here. They have Molson Pilsner on draft. Most places don't even carry Molson Pilsner, and they have it on draft even. And it's just like, that is awesome.
I used to drink the Molson Ice because there was a higher alcohol content down here.
5.5.
It's still,
or at least it's 5.5 here.
I think that's what it is here, but now you can get all these, mini microbreweries and get beer up to like 10% by volume.
All I remember is we bought a case of Molson XXX when it came out in 1993, and all I watched is within 45 minutes, 2 best friends get into a fist fight, and we went, nope, we're not serving that beer at our parties anymore because it was 7.3.
Yeah, and it's still out there, XXX. And still relatively cheap, too. Which is also the other scary thing about it.
Buds and Bud? Yeah, I'm down with that. Now, what if all the handles say Moose Drool? Well, then we're drinking Moose Drool.
Oh, I like Moose Drool. It's one of my favorites when I've already hit every tap in the bar. So
ice beer is headache beer. Exactly, John Deal. Exactly. Fist fights and hangovers.
As long as it's Moose Drool and not Moose Head.
I've had that too.
I still remember my first beer I drank when I was young. It was a beer called Schooner.
I remember Schooner.
That stuff was pretty horrendous.
I remember when they brought it out on Ontario because Schooner was the only beer my dad used to drink out on the coast. He had one bottle. He goes, that's not Schooner. It's not the same as the Schooner on the coast.
Yeah.
My first beer was Miller High Life.
I remember the big thing right when I hit 19 was when the big advertising push was on for Miller Genuine Draft. And we're like, oh, we'll get some Miller Genuine Draft. I'm like, oh my God, people drink this? But it's in a clear bottle. I feel so cool at the party.
Okay, so here's something, I don't know. This is my own thoughts on this. When I was in the Marine Corps, I was drinking Miller in the bottle. Clear bottles. Back in Miller High Life. It used to come in clear bottles. It still does.
Yeah.
And I used to drink that. I used to get hangovers all the time. And somebody told me that they put like formaldehyde in it so they could put it in a clear bottle to keep it from spoiling. Formaldehyde, no wonder I was waking up with hangovers. Because as soon as I switched to drinking Budweiser, I never got a hangover again.
Crowbar. I'm not even going to read that one off.
Oh my god.
Yep, not saying it. Not a word.
By the way, is Theodore Scamina a new person?
I believe so. Welcome, Theodore.
Yeah,
Well, that's right, Brian. Free beer is the best, but I just can't find people to give it to me anymore.
Yep.
Free beer.
I'll take any beer that's handed to me while I'm on stage, except for PBR. I'm like, no thanks.
You know, I actually tried the
even hams.
Never heard of it.
I've heard of hams.
I drank half of PBR once.
They used to use a bear in their commercials back in the 60s.
Nice. Crowbar's like, come on, guys. It wasn't that. I thought it was hilarious. I'm not reading it off, but I thought it was hilarious, Crowbar.
I was just going to say, I actually tried the Canadian Pabst Blue Ribbon a little bit ago, and it wasn't too bad. It reminded me of like
nasty.
Kind of reminded me of old Milwaukee.
Like I said.
Yeah.
Nasty.
It was definitely the lower tier beer.
Oh, Milwaukee's Best was another one of those lower tier ones.
Yeah, they taste more like a malt liquor than a beer.
Yeah, I'd probably rather drink.
Oh, and there's another one that was really bad down here. It was Black Label.
Carling Black Label. That's cheap ass beer here.
That used to be
that was nasty too.
Well, let's see. I believe I have.
You're already cut off, Ben. Staggering under your chair.
The problem with having all the bloody patch cables to my pedal board right at my feet. There you go.
Yeah, that's the one.
Curling Black Label.
Yeah, that used to be a decent beer up here, but again, the whole difference is
it was a cheap beer, Terry.
Well, it was cheap, but
it's about 10 cents more than a generic beer, where it just said beer on the can.
Yeah, that's about right. But again,
the only thing cheaper than Carling is Lakeport.
Oh God, yeah, Lakeport or Wildcat
in Hamilton. And you're like, yep, I can taste Hamilton in it. That's like beer brewed in Pittsburgh for our American friends. Yeah. And I've had beer from Pittsburgh, and guess what? It tastes like Lakeport. You can taste the steel industry in the beer.
Oh God, that'd be terrible. Yeah, another bad one too that's on the cheaper brands is that Wildcat. That Wildcat Strong. Oh God, that was terrible. Oh, I remember. Oh yeah, I remember trying.
Hey, Dogpa. And Daryl B07. Good to see Daryl in here. Yeah, Carling took over. It's under Molson now, which is what, Molson Coors. I think they're the same company now.
Yeah, I think so.
Colt 45, wife fool around. Ooh, nasty.
Oh, I think that this stuff that down here is called High Gravity. It's like 9.5% beer and comes in a 24-ounce can.
Damn.
Wow.
Two of those, man, you're done for the day.
No doubt.
Mr. Milt joining us in the chat. Good to see you, Milt. Jeez, I went to a soccer game once, and the only beer they served there was Carlsberg. And I had to choke down 2 large draft Carlsbergs. Oh, nasty.
I drank Carlsberg when I went to England. Maybe it's different over there, but
when it comes to the Danes, I'll eat their pastries, not so much their beer. No thanks.
That's what I was just going to say. The brewing capacities and whatnot are so different from country to country.
Yeah, but come on, Terry, you go to any sporting event in Canada, they have the brewery on site at the sports arena. It's the only way they can serve enough beer.
Yeah, true enough. Unless you're going to like a Maple Leaf hockey game, then you're not getting too much beer, considering it's like almost like $10 or something like that.
My cousin Doug, if he's still in the chat, oh my God, and see a metalhead hippie. So we're at a Leafs game, and so this has got to be at least 10 years ago, and beers were $16 each. And so Doug offered to buy the first round, and when he got the bill, he just about had a heart attack. He goes, "But you're just pumping it from downstairs. Why is it $16 a cup? It's from downstairs."
Yeah.
And it wasn't like it was a huge draft beer either. It was like a large draft for 16 Canadian.
Yeah. They prevent you from bringing in your own alcohol, and then they overcharge you for it. What
Can't bring in your own alcohol in any place in Canada.
You can or can't?
Cannot.
Well, yeah, most venues you can't take alcohol in, and they'll do searches on you and check you out, at least down here. So they prevent you from bringing in alcohol, and then they overcharge you.
Well, that's what I couldn't believe with the first NASCAR race I went to, because alcohol laws are so strict here. You can't drink in the stands. Like, you would have to go to a beer garden to drink even at a NASCAR race. You couldn't drink in the stands. And then all of a sudden I go to the NASCAR races and they're like, "Yeah, man, you can fill a cooler full of beer and bring it in, put it down between your legs, and sit there and drink beer in the stands." And I'm like, you tell me I can buy a cheap-ass can of beer, which is like a quarter of the price it is at home to begin with, and then bring it into the stands as well? I'm like, just the amount of beer I'm going to drink in the stands will pay for half this trip based off of normally what I would pay. I usually budget $100 for booze at a sporting event. Instead, it cost me like $10.
Yeah, last time I went to a kind of a big concert, I just started resorting to just drinking water.
Yeah.
Because
it's not like you can take anything in. They search you so well at any kind of concert nowadays.
Yeah, and it's not like I want to go ahead and mortgage my home to have a couple of beers at a concert,
Yeah.
I just felt sorry for the security guy at the last concert I was at. He goes, now, I will say, he was an African-American gentleman, we'll say. And he couldn't figure out how basically everybody going through the metal detector was setting it off. I'm like, dude, it's a rock concert. We all have piercings. We're all wearing metal on us, or like something where, studded belt or wristbands or something, or, you say various piercings. He's like, y'all are nuts. Okay. See you, Crowbar.
I think a new person in the chat, Tor Rydberg.
Tor's been around for a bit here. Tor's a good cat. Yeah. Okay. Welcome, Tor. I will say, though, where you get hooped the most when it comes to booze sales is on airplanes.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
That's why I bring my own.
Or don't forget mini bars in hotels and motels.
Oh, yes.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, but Terry, you should have seen the look on my last flight out to NAM, because most drinks, only soft drinks are complimentary now, right?
Yeah.
So I get on the plane. They're like, "Hey, you want a drink?" I'm like, "Yeah, I'll have a coffee. Just fill it like 3/4 of the way." Okay, 4th way coffee. Pull out a little airline bottle of Bailey's. Boom. The people all sitting in my row are like, "Where'd you get that?" I brought it. It's like, you can't bring booze on the plane. I'm like, why not? It's under 100 milliliters. I had 6 of them on me.
Oh, jeez.
And the nice thing
is, the cap is sealed until you pop it.
Yeah. No, border had no problem with it. Security had no problem with it, because they're like, "Hey, this is booze." I'm like, look at TSA guidelines. All it says is no liquids more than 100 milliliters. It does not specify alcohol. So I was like, damn, okay. And one of those things, it says it can't be more than 100 milliliters. It doesn't give you a volume on how many of those bottles you can carry.
Oh, wow.
So, yeah. Needless to say, I was pretty lit.
Tor Ryberg, the last time I flew Air Canada, it was free drinks on international flights. It was 10 years ago. I was wasted.
I remember, cheap booze on flights and in-flight meals. Those things are gone. Speaking of flying, Jamal.
Hey, Jamal. So, yeah, there's a question for Jamal. Jamal, have you ever been forced to eat the airline in-plane food ever as a meal since you've been working for AA, I believe?
Dan New Jersey's like, Ben is really 007.
Forced?
So we shouldn't mention when leaving California the sheer volume of edibles I ingested prior to getting on my flight. Because see, Terry, the problem is when I leave Toronto, I only go Toronto to Chicago. It's only an hour, right? Then you got to do stuff. So you got to be somewhat aware, switching flights and whatever. Flying back, I knew I was going all the way from California to Chicago. So I knew right there I had like 5-hour window where I didn't have to do anything but drool. So I loaded up. Yeah, exactly, Mike. It's the only way to fly.
Jamal's consensus is the first class food is the best, I guess.
Well, I haven't had that yet. The best I got was, I don't know, does United even have first class? They have a business class. Didn't seem really first classy, though. I won't fly in LAX.
You fly in too. If you're making the shorter hops, you're going to be on smaller planes.
Yeah. Dogpa. Yeah, there's an idea. I should really do that with, in case they're watching. Oh, I would never do that with gummies. Never.
They're vitamins. They're Flintstone gummy vitamins, honestly.
Hey, I ate the rest of my silly string, and it was quite silly string before going through border security in California.
Oh, God. Could you ever imagine if they did a gum like that?
They do.
Oh, they do? Wow. Blow bubbles.
Yeah. I just remember sitting, waiting for the flight home, pretty damn lit, chain vaping right in the airport, not caring. And then listening to music on my phone, and I came across this Japanese band I liked, but I didn't know much about them. I'm like, I want to find out more about this band. I can't really find anything. I wish I knew somebody in Japan. Ooh, I do know somebody in Japan. So I start messaging Jason McNamara, and it's probably middle of the night for him. I'm like, hey, buddy, just hanging in Cali. I don't know if you're still here or not, or you're back around the world, but do you know these guys? He's like, yep, I do. Thank you, Mike. United breaks guitars. That's why I don't fly with a guitar. Eventually, though, I'd love to have a van to just drive cross-country to all these events. Screw this flying business. Just give me a conversion van.
My God, that's just making me think of the horror stories of Toman shipping stuff with DHL to people. Oh. It's like, what would be worse? Sending your instrument through with United Airlines or using DHL shipping for it? What would have the least amount of damage?
Yeah. Theodore, I don't know if I'd want to do that on a flight. I get a little too... I like being alone when I'm on those. I'm not overly sociable. And if I am, I'm talking to everybody on the plane then. It's bad enough when I'm fleeing. Well, you saw it, Terry. You were laughing your ass off when I did that. That poor older Asian couple in my one tour vlog, travel vlog this year. I'm like, I'm on a plane. Blah, blah, blah. Check out these people. Say hi. I get off. Everyone on the plane is looking at me like, who the hell is this guy? And then one guy who was walking by, he's going, you're a YouTuber going to NAMM, aren't you? Yep. Knew it. And he walked by, and I think he was wearing a Keeley Effects hoodie or something like that.
Yeah, I was just going to say, in regards to that topic, that we won't mention everything I've understood about that specific thing. That is something you're best to keep to yourself with when you do that.
Me, it's pretty obvious. I just sit there. I'm smiling. I might be drooling a little. I got my earbuds in.
Okay, folks. Remember that now. When you fly American Airlines, say to them, I can take my guitar inside the cabin because Jamal Kareem said so, and he works for you guys.
Right.
All of a sudden, Jamal will get a whole bunch of things from his boss. We need to
Buy
talk to
soup
you, Jamal.
for it. That's what
Hey,
Terry Patrick
ideally,
used to do.
ideally, you just wanted to do the Bonamassa thing and just have the second seat for your guitar, because that way it's extra legroom for you too. Oh, Jamal works for United.
Yeah, that's what I said. Oh,
okay.
sorry, United.
Good to know.
Not AA.
Thank you, Jamal. I still rather drive. Needs more legroom on those planes. My God.
Well, with the social distancing that you have to do now, there should be more legroom.
Now, Robot Master Switch says Maximum the Hormone. That's a crazy metal band. That was the band I was listening to and messaging Jason McNamara about.
Absolute Mayhem. That's who one of my favorite guitar heroes are. Frank Marino's one of them. Then, of course, the standard fare. Clapton, Page, Hendrix, Dave Gilmour. All the old hippie stuff.
Very nice. Hey, Half Ace. Good to see you, man. Keith H. Keith is another one of those wild men that went on a watching spree because all of a sudden I came home from one day from doing errands and there's comments on about 20 videos from Keith, which was awesome. Thank you very much, Keith. But thanks, everybody's been digging the videos and leaving comments and this and that. Views have been up recently, so. And it looks like we got enough channel members here that I'm probably going to upgrade this StreamYard thing to the Pro version. Which means I can do more live streaming per month. Yay!
And you can put in your Connects with Guitars logo or whatever logo.
That I can do. And I can change the background.
Yeah,
all kinds
of cool stuff.
Well, Michael Chris says, many years ago, early 90s, a local bar would do a pitcher of Miller Lite for $2.95. Screw it, we would drink it. I hear you. They used to do pitchers of rye and Coke here.
Yeah, mini pitchers for I think it was $5 at the time or something like that.
Oh, no, these were like $20, but it was 8 rye and Cokes in a pitcher.
Oh, so it was the large pitcher, like the 1 liter pitcher.
And they never gave you glasses. They just gave you a straw. And you just walk around with a pitcher with a straw.
Oh, that would get you wasted big time.
So many fights in that bar. So many fights.
Like I
All
said,
right. Lawrence has to head out. See you, Lawrence. Have a good one, sir.
Yep. Take care, Lawrence.
So when I was in the Marine Corps, I went to the Philippines, and they made this stuff. They called it Mojo. It's basically every hard liquor that's left in a bottle. They threw it in and threw some fruit in there and some punch, and you drink it by the picture, and you couldn't really taste the alcohol in it. I drank 2 pitchers of that one night, and I stood up to go to the bathroom, and I remember getting halfway up. Then I woke up in some girl's house the next morning. Remember nothing.
Wow.
Michael Kress is like, no love for Labatt's. Boom. His can right there. Robot Mass Switch says, how do I get a super high Insano gain metal tone high gain amp, active pickups, pedals, all help? All right. You're going to want, let's see, you're going to want some high output pickups at the very least. They don't have to be active, but at least high output. So I'm thinking, like Wolfgang, if you want to go passive, or just throw a set of EMGs and something.
Anything 10K plus.
Yeah.
Probably.
And the easiest way to get that super duper uber chug, get yourself a Mesa Boogie triple rectifier. because they are the easiest to dial in for the Uber chug, and then possibly hit it with another drive on top of that, but you probably won't even need that. But talk to LPD too. You can always hit an 87 into a Mesa Boogie triple rectifier, and you're going to have more gain you'll ever need.
Yeah, when I do that, I just turn on the Champ and just turn it over to that tread plate one.
Yeah, and yes, you may want a noise gate as well.
Yeah, I was just going to say all I demoed.
Don't forget the Miku. Hey, that bass sense would sound like a Miku at times.
You should do a demo of that, Ben, or did you?
I wouldn't say a Vermin Les because it would be too mid-focused. I'm thinking you want to be pretty mid-scooped for super high gain. How are we doing on time? All right, we'll probably go for another 10 minutes here. Take it up to the top of the hour. Boom, lost my tab. The honker into the 87 is pretty badass. That's right, Brian. Yes, it is.
Yeah, actually, it's been a really good stream. 55. It's been pretty much 50 plus continuous the whole time. Up to 53 thumbs up.
And you haven't frozen up once.
Nope.
Nice. Excuse me. Got a bit of a tickle in my throat, but that's okay. Let's see. Robot Matt Switch says, I need the Miku, right? I'm on the phone with my Sam Ash guy right now. Yes, everybody needs it. Any alternatives to the triple rec? Yes. Get yourself an EVH 5150.
Well, a Randall would also do it because most Randall amps are pretty high gain. For solid state, that is.
Yep. Laney.
Yeah, Laney. Laney big time.
There's your dark horse. Get a Laney. Because nobody has a Laney. Whatever happened to the old
Tommy Iommi plays
Southern rock and roll? Jack Collins asked. The answer to that, sir, is they all went country. Southern rock is country today. Listen to Eric Church. It's Les Pauls into Marshalls.
Yeah, I would probably agree with you there, Ben. Because, I mean, I don't think there's a lot of Southern rock bands that are out there.
No.
Is that Blackberry Smoke, I think, is one.
Yeah. There's some out there, but it's kind of like, it's not so much that pure Southern rock. It's either a little more country, a little more blues, you know.
Yeah.
Diesel is another good amp choice.
Yeah.
Not that I played through JJ's Diesel. Actually, you know what? That video I put out last week of me playing that old Les Paul, I think I was playing through a Diesel. I think I was playing through JJ's Diesel. Which, yeah, I didn't even know I was being filmed for that. And then I found that on my phone the other night. I was like, I think I'll post that up. Because I forgot. JJ sent that to me after the fact, and I totally forgot it was even on my phone.
Oh, jeez.
The video is so old, it was on my old phone. It wasn't even on this phone. It got transferred over from the old phone.
Yeah, I was just going to say that. Like, to me, Southern rock, I still would consider the Black Crows.
Yeah. Solid state or tube for metal amp, solid state, right? Like Dimebag did. Well, Dimebag went solid state, but everybody else went with tubes. So I still get better results from tubes.
Rev G20, I believe it is the one that's got the G100 or whatever down to a 20 watt and 5 watt combo. With actually,
you know what I want to get for an amp? I want a Garnet.
I've seen a few on the local Kijiji actually again.
Yeah, I want a Garnet, and which, for those who don't know, it's an older Canadian company, because Gordy Johnson from Big Sugar is still rocking a Garnet Herzog. That's what he plugs into the Garnet, and then from there it goes out to all of his other amps. He's like, that's the secret to my tone. I got to play through a Garnet. Then he was rocking a Garnet t-shirt the other day on Instagram.
Another honorable mention for a heavy gain amp would be the Hughes and Kettner Grandmeister 40 or the Triple.
Yeah.
There's also that Tremonti one. With,
we can go for the original. How about a Soldano?
Oh,
You know, because the triple rectifier is just a ripoff of the Soldano.
yeah. Yeah,
Wish I had a Garnet Red Light Rebel head. Yeah, no kidding, Michael. No kidding. It's hard to find Garnet stuff.
Same thing as Joe Herbie just mentioned, Crank. You'd have fun trying to find something by Crank now.
Yeah, that stuff's getting pretty hard to find.
Trainer amps, Canadian, yes.
Yes, they're made an hour up the road from me.
And they're all variations of Fender and Marshalls.
Yeah. Bulletproof. Well, at least they used to be. That was the thing. Bulletproof. You could throw those things down a flight of stairs and just ask for more. At one time, we had a Trainer PA system at the house. My dad had in the early 80s. And the mains were the size of refrigerators. Yeah, it was like 2 15s and a horn.
Wow. That would have been really rocking. Or a good way to kill the trouble in your hearing.
No kidding.
No wonders why you got tinnitus.
Yeah, let's see. I grew up hanging out around, let's see, live music and race cars. I wonder why I have tinnitus. Michael Cross has the Trainer Iron Horse lunchbox head. It's not the one I have, Terry.
I'm not sure.
I got to get the demo out on that at some point. I don't even know where it is.
Oh, you mean the one that I sent you?
Yeah.
It's really not that gainy. It's more.
I was going to get that. Yeah, I was going to get that.
It's more overdrivey. The Dark Horse that is actually like the Vox Night Trains.
Oh yeah, okay.
That's more kind of metally, yeah.
Right. Nice.
Yeah, I mean, there's honestly enough amps out there that can do heavy metal gain on board without needing to have any type of pedal in front of it.
And I find really to get that really good gain tone, you're not getting that from a pedal. You have to get the right amp.
Yeah.
Nice. Dan in Jersey has a 410 80-watt Trainer, and I bet you that thing weighs about 1,000 pounds.
Jeez. Yeah, that's a good one. Laz, the Ola England Randall Satan.
Nice.
Rivera amps. Those are very nice amps.
Oh, the Knucklehead. Yeah. Lots of good choices.
And I will agree with Joe Hervey on the Viper Gen 1. If you could,
I prefer the first gen.
If you could get your hands on the first gen, like the 75 or the 100, and like the Mesa setting and the high gain settings on those amps were like really nice.
Yep, that's what when I first showed up, the first band I played with, I showed up with a first gen 30-watt 112 combo, first gen Viper, put it on the Mesa channel, and I used that for the first 2 or 3 practices until I brought my big amp over and built a pedal board because I had to figure out what I was going to do to get a high gain sound. And I forget what I don't remember what I used. I ended up with the MXR full bore metal, but I think prior to that, I was just using the Boss Mega Distortion with both overdrive and distortion at about 2 o'clock, just pushing the fuck out of it.
Oh, I was going to say, Speaking of trainer amps, there has been one that's been rolling around the local Kijiji for a while now. I don't know if it's any good, but it is the Trainer Custom 100, which is a tri-channel. Yeah, that's what I thought.
It works, but you remember, like, say, that drawback about trainers back in the day? Like, they work, but it's, it's like a Ford pickup. It gets the job done. It gets you there, but you're not styling in any way, shape, or form. And that's always kind of what I found with trainers. It's a great workhorse, that's for sure.
So it's basically like the PV Valve King Gen 1s.
Yeah. Well, Trainer is Canada's PV, right?
Yeah.
That's it. In many ways. So, well, we hit the 2-hour mark. Randy, do you have anything to add, my good man?
Just a trivia question.
All right.
You know what candy that they use in E.T.?
Yes.
I had a discussion with my wife earlier today, and I mentioned that because we were talking about candy for some reason, and she flat out told me I was wrong. She says, "You need to go look this up." And I said, "No, I don't. You need to look it up." She found out it was Reese's Pieces.
That's right. That's right. Terry, anything to add, my good man?
Thank you, everyone that's actually signed up for Ben's membership.
Thank you very much, folks.
I hope everyone has been safe and COVID-free, as well as cool in the heat that's been going on throughout North America this past week. And again, just wishing that everybody keep up with the positive focus and positive living.
Well, I am seeing we are now up to 11 channel members, which is awesome. Partially because 11 is my favorite number. So there we are. That's pretty cool. Yes, thanks everybody that became a member. Thanks everybody that did a super chat. Thanks everybody that just tuned in. Especially thanks everybody that gave a thumbs up. I do appreciate those. I want to thank Randy for coming on. We had to reschedule it, and it's been awesome to have Randy on. He and I usually talk. At least, we usually text back and forth a couple times a week, and he's a good guy, and we figured, hey, let's do one of these hangouts together. Terry, thanks as always, coming in, hanging out, keeping an eye on the chat, because you always seem to find those comments that I miss in the chat for whatever reason. Yeah. Great stuff. And I guess I get to do this again in approximately 22 hours. So until next time, folks, thanks again. If you're new, please subscribe as well. As always, hold those doors open. Let that guy in ahead of you in traffic. Do good things, and good things will happen to you. Karma is real. I'm not going to say I'm living the dream, because somebody did a meme about that yesterday. It says, if I had a nickel for every time I said that, I'd be a rich man. So cheers, rock on. Have a great night, folks, and I'll see you all tomorrow.
Later,
folks.
How do you end this broadcast? Jeez, this is what happens when you take a week off.